It's time for the absolutely... I'm on my way! Completely... I'm almost there! Random... Why are there so many stairs? Podcast. Oh, jeez! With Andrew Rhodes. Hello, denizens of the internet! Greetings to all of you who are tuning in here to listen to me. Greetings to those viewers from beyond the stars, listeners from other galaxies, universes, dimensions, time streams, timelines, what have you. And a special welcome to those of you still stuck in quarantine that are listening to me because, well, either my voice is soothing enough to put you to sleep or it's enough to make you laugh. You know what? I'm fine either way, so long as I can bring you some entertainment and enjoyment. My name's Andrew Rhodes, and welcome to the absolutely, completely random podcast for Saturday, March 28th, 2020. The final Saturday of March. Holy crap, it's going to be a long fucking year, isn't it? Holy shit. I mean, it's only March. And it feels like, and I'm not even going to lie, it almost feels like I'm halfway through the year. I'm almost thinking this is like October or something. It's like, no, this is only March. God damn. This is bad. I shouldn't laugh about this, but I have to find some humor somewhere. I mean, like a lot of horrible stuff's going on. But anyway, what am I going to be talking about this week? More cancellations, more of the elephant in the room that I cannot get out the front door. I mean, this thing just wants to sit on my porch, for God's sake. But I digress. GameStop's back in the freaking news again because they just don't know when to roll over and die. And I mean that in this case. They just don't know when to give up. And I will be talking about that. There is a really interesting thing here. Tamaga Anime shorts. Tamaga 2020 anime shorts are streaming online for free. The 2020 Olympics have been postponed to 2021. I kind of freaking called that. But on top of that, though, we have some more sad news. Unfortunately, Comic Market 98 is canceled. Yeah, that's going to suck. William Dufris, and I do apologize if I mispronounced the name, has sadly passed away due to cancer. He was a voice actor, and I will explain how I know the voice and where and from where. It's not actually from anime, believe it or not. It's not. Sing Yesterday for Me anime is sharing its first 6 minutes, and this actually seems pretty interesting. And I caught the finale of Steven Universe Future. Whew! That's one hell of an intro, isn't it? But anyway, all this and more this week on the Absolutely Completely Random podcast. But I digress before we get any further into this. Hey, did you know that I have an eBay page? That's right, ARHOADS-2012 on eBay. Come check me out. I have a lot of stuff. I'm trying my best to get new stuff up, even with the lockdowns, quarantines, stay-at-home orders, and stuff like that that are being enforced. I just have not gotten a chance to get it. I've been enjoying a bit of the downtime, relaxing and trying to plan stuff out for the remainder of the year, like backup ideas and ideas upon ideas, but I am working to get more stuff out. But if you're in the mood and interested to find something that piques your curiosity now that you have some time to sit around and look, come check out my eBay page. I got a lot of trading cards, DVDs, I got some video games, just a whole bunch of weird stuff. Imagine if I was a freaking yard sale or a flea market. That's pretty much me. A lot of stuff's up for best offer. Buy it now. I don't think I have anything up on an actual auction bid, but I might in the future. Don't quote me on that. But come check me out. ARHOADS-2012 over on eBay. I am also on Twitter at Otaku Rhodes. Come by, shoot the shit, say hi, leave me, just pop a message on my tweet to me. All that. Pop a message up there on my Twitter page. And don't forget to swing on over and give a like to the official Web Designer 18 Facebook page. Because, it's kind of cool. I mean, I have like 10 or 11 likes on that thing, I think. And hey, don't forget, you also have the official Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. The thing you're kind of on right now. Don't forget to give a thumbs up for the video, thumbs down if you hated it, and if you haven't yet already done so, mash that subscribe button, and ring the bell. So that way you're always up to date for when I drop new videos like Andrew Rants, Andrew Discusses, the Anime GBU Season 2, which is going to be coming soon, I promise. Not to mention more of this great podcast. So, yeah, I got a lot of stuff on this. Even monthly Q&As are up on this channel, and some other stuff from time to time. But anyway, I digress. Let us get into the podcast, shall we? I've done enough self-promotion for one day. Alright, so how did my week go? I usually do this every week. It's like, hey Andrew, how did your week go? How was it since the last time we've talked to you here on the podcast, since you were last here doing this last week? Well, surprisingly, it's been quite well. I'm not going to lie. And I'm actually shocked at that. I'm finally starting to see a bit of an uptake in my eBay sales. I was a little shocked. Some stuff actually sold this month. I have one thing that's waiting to ship out on Monday morning, and that'll bring me up to speed then. Still no idea of when and or if this basic thing that's going on now is going to come to an end or not. I'm still technically on vacation, but unfortunately, I don't know anything yet. I'll have to contact my manager and find out. And as much as I would like to know, I'm hesitant to contact my store manager because I don't like talking to her unless I absolutely have to. I'm one of those people that, I will gladly ask a question if I can't figure out an answer for myself, or if I am constantly, questionable about it. And seeing as my county recently got put on a stay-at-home order, taking that the neighboring counties around me were put on one, and we were finally put on one Friday night. Figures. Most of them were put on like Wednesday or Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday for the surrounding ones. We were Friday night, like 8 o'clock. I did head to my local convenience store, like 2 miles down the road, because I had to get a phone card. And I picked up 3 bottles of iced tea and 3 bags of potato chips. Now down to 2 bags of potato chips because I had one for lunch. Or I should say I had one with my lunch. So there is that. But yeah, I know this is stressful to a lot of people, and that's pretty much been 90% of my week. Besides watching Cagney and Lacey, because we're just enjoying that while we have it, because it's not gonna stick around for a while. I know Wednesday's coming up is April Fool's Day. As much as the kickers, I used to love that holiday. I used to love April Fool's Day. And it was like a couple years ago, a whole bunch of YouTube channels did some really stupid jokes and just soured the whole thing for me. And I kind of just look at it like, I don't really like the holiday anymore. But this year, I think a lot of people really need it. So like, if you get a chance, without, tastefully, I'm asking here. If people make jokes tastefully, I'll probably get a kick out of them, but tasteful jokes, not acting stupid, insecure, and idiotic. Tasteful jokes would be nice. But mostly this week, I just did nothing much of anything. I am slowly improving my art skills, which, if I ever remember to put them up, you have to remember, I have what I like to call a selective memory. Whereas, I want to remember something, but my brain doesn't want me to remember it. Try figuring that one out. But basically, I have been slowly improving my drawing skills. I'm working from the head down on an actual person. I figure, at this rate, since I practice almost every day, I should, by the end of this, have the ability to make an actual person. And a decent-looking person, mind you. I have an idea for what I'd like to do if I can improve my drawing skills, but I don't think I'm going to be getting it up to that level anytime soon, but there is that. Anyway, besides that, I played Puzzles & Dragons. They did a new update on Wednesday. Brought in Odin's storyline, which I beat in one day. It came in Thursday, actually, but I beat it in one night. Like, one whole day I beat it. And I managed to do it today, barely. And I mean barely, because I got help from the assist friends you could get. But the challenge dungeon that goes along with this. You have to try to defeat Odin's son. I cannot pronounce the name. This is like Vladar or something. But you have to try to beat him. And I could barely do it. It cost me 2 magic stones and a hell of a lot of luck. And I'm kind of pissed at that. Because you have a rare chance of getting it at the base level one. You have to try to go to the next one up for an actual chance to get it. And I'm like, I barely managed to beat this one. And there's no easy way to do this. So I'm going to go online, check like the Facebook page, see if there's anybody that might have ideas on how to beat it. If not, I might try to team up in a multiplayer dungeon to try to get it. I don't know. Would be nice to try it. I would assume. But I'll give it a shot. Maybe somebody out there has the power to do it. I mean, if you don't mind me, hitching along for the ride, I'll try my best to help. But there's not much I can do. I got my ass handed to me. The first monster you battle against can OTK you. It gives you like 3 turns to try to kill it, and it can OTK you after those 3 turns. You either need to buy yourself some more turns by delaying its attack, or really maxed out your attack, because it does like a 90% damage reduction, and that pisses me off. And that's just the first freaking battle. And then there's like 7 more after it, because it's an 8-battle dungeon. But yeah, so I beat story mode, though, for the new story. That's pretty cool. The new characters came out. Much other stuff. I did find out, though, this week. Actually, I think it was... I think it was like Monday, or last Sunday or Monday, I found out that Marvel Contest of Champions is upgrading their system come June. It's June 29th. If you don't have Android 6.0 or better, you're not going to be able to play the game anymore. Which bums me out, because my 2 tablets that I technically have, that I have this thing, that I can put it on, run Android 5. And I'm a little peeved, especially for the one, because I went through hell and back to find the one tablet again. It's an Insignia Flex Elite, and I'm kind of pissed at that. So I might have to try to see if I can upgrade that, which I assume I should be able to, since there are Android 6s for it. I guess it's just going to be one of those, tap the update button half a dozen times, see if it'll take, or figure out a way to do it. But my Rec Pad, I don't know if I can update that thing. It's kind of bumming me out, but I had thought about looking into getting a gaming tablet, because apparently, after typing that in an eBay search, I'm shocked they exist. I mean, now, I don't know how good they are. Most of them are like, I think it's ZTE, or brands that I've never heard of. And I did a rant video, literally, I think it was like Tuesday night, I recorded it for just the rants. Basically saying, a freaking gaming tablet, because I think Google should try to make one, but, there is that. I mean, Google should really try their hand at that again. But I'm just kind of shocked that I have found other tablets out there that have, like, better RAM and hard drive space. I'm like, well, I just need better RAM and, a decent-sized hard drive on it, and I'll be in business as long as I can do regular apps, surf the net and everything. Hell, let's do this. So it's basically just a matter of looking it up, searching it out, everything else. Worst case scenario, I do have a tablet that I can get. It's another Insignia, but it's one that it's like the next model of one that I had already owned. It's a Flex 8100, and I had a 7100. 7100 apparently had 1 gig of RAM, and the 8100 has 2 gigs of RAM. And that's what I freaking need, is a 2 gig RAM on that to basically make it work. But yeah, so it's an ongoing issue to find stuff. How I wish I could just take it to like a computer place and just say, hey, can you upgrade the RAM on this? No? Great. Yeah, just do that route, yeah. But that was basically most of my week. Like Cagney Lacey, watching TV, just watching the days go by, relaxing, trying my best not to get sick. Grocery stores have been a nightmare. I took photos recently of my grocery store to show my grandfather, because he wasn't believing us when we tell him, no, there's nothing on the shelves, Grandpa. There really isn't anything here. So on Friday, I took pictures. Like, here's a picture, here's a picture, here's a picture. Do you see anything on these shelves? Oh, you guys really... No, we're not lying. There's nothing here. So yeah, this is getting kind of. I'm actually gonna admit I'm kind of getting a little concerned in some aspects, and I really hate to say this, but I kind of feel like we're only in act 2 of this, but I'll get into that a little more when I get into the first topic. And speaking of which, let's get on with this, because I know by now my weekly censor who watches who listens to this is going, speed it up, damn it, I got other things to do. So yeah, let's get into this, shall we? Alright, so let's talk about the finale, the series finale, mind you, of Steven Universe Future. And I finally got to watch it. I checked it out today. It premiered last night, which would have been Friday. I didn't like it. Now, first off, I liked the show, and I know that there are a lot of people out there that are going to go, you like that show, and just start chastising me for liking it. First off, yes, I am well aware of what Rebecca Sugar did. Yes, I am well aware of it. I have found it out on the internet. I know about it, okay? Here's my philosophy. I don't care about behind-the-scenes drama when it comes to a program. I am of the variety of person that don't hate the game, hate the player. Basically, don't hate the program just because the creator of the program did something that you don't agree with or did something that offends a crap ton of people. Did the program itself do anything to you? Did the program anger you or upset you in any way? No? Then do you like it? Well, it's kind of interesting. Then watch it. If you don't like it or it offends you, then don't watch it. That's my philosophy on it. And I know it's my standard thing to each their own. That's how I see things. I mean, if I would stop watching every single thing that was ever made by somebody that I didn't like, I would not be watching anything at this point. Because I guarantee you I would find somehow it's connected to some person because we're all separated by 6 degrees. That 6 degrees of separation is actually accurate. We're all separated by at least 6 things. So, yeah, there is that. But you can't flat out hate a show just because its creator did something. The show itself didn't do anything to you. That's my philosophy on it. But I did watch this, and I figured I watched it when it was originally Steven Universe, and I was following it for the longest time, so I figured I might as well watch it and just bring the whole thing home. I did not like the ending of it, though. Steven Universe Future takes place directly after the movie, Steven Universe, the movie, which I did love that movie, by the way. That's still one of my favorites. But basically, this deals with older Steven and more of the events that took place afterwards. You have him kind of coming into his diamond powers, and he doesn't know how to handle them. He's becoming an angsty teenager in a way, and it's okay in most aspects, but the last, I want to say, like 5 or 6 episodes just flat out nail you right in the head, and it hurts. There's the episode, I think it should be episode 16, where Steven trains with Jasper to try to get a grip on his anger issues and shatters her by accident, quickly realizing that, no, I can't do this, and becomes distraught at the fact that then the gems find out about it in the next episode, which the series ends with 17, 18, 19, and 20 all premiering on one night, because this was Cartoon Network's way of, we're ending this now, rather than dragging it out. And yeah, I get that, because this is the end of the Cartoon Network renaissance, basically, and I will agree with people on that. The Cartoon Network renaissance just ends right here, with Steven Universe Future ending at the end of the Cartoon Network renaissance. But how it ends, and I have watched several videos on them explaining the ending. Several YouTubers have explained the ending, and I still don't like it. You can explain it all you want. I still don't like it. By the way, spoiler if you haven't seen it, but basically Steven runs off to Homeworld to try to get help from the Diamonds, figuring that they're the only ones that can help him. There he runs back into Spinel, which honest to God, I don't know why he didn't just shatter her. I get the whole concept of no violence in a cartoon about violence, war, and, you know, find the pacifist way and everything. And I respect that, first off. I do respect that. But she's an annoying character as all hell. But he basically finds out that the diamonds have newer powers than they did originally. Yellow Diamond can now slightly uncorrupt, screw around with things versus what she could do originally. Blue Diamond, instead of making people sad, can make them laugh and be happy. And White Diamond, instead of projecting herself into others, others can project themselves onto her. She tries to help Steven, though. White Diamond does. Well, technically, they all tried. They all failed miserably. Yellow's attempt didn't work. Blue's attempt didn't work. And White Diamond's was about the most effective, but almost costing her existence because Steven was about to shatter her while possessing her. And that didn't jive with Steven. He freaked out, ran back home to Earth, and then the Gems found out about it. He tried running around Little Homeworld to help them out, and that wasn't working out. He just kind of started making himself feel like he was horrible. He was, not helpful anymore. He was, like, hating himself, afraid for what he was becoming, like he was becoming a monster. And then he basically became a giant monster, which was that pink thing that was featured and hinted at so many times in the, like, promotional images and that a lot of people were like, this is the thing that's controlling, the diamonds, or this is going to be like White Diamond's, master or something. Man, I would have loved to have gone and made a video about that saying, that's probably going to be Steven. And people probably would have been pointing at me and laughing and going, no, it's not going to be him. They fast forward to the future. Do you happen to have any lottery numbers? I'd like to win a shit ton of money. Yeah, so would I, but I don't have any. I don't have any. That's separate. I can sometimes tell what could happen with certain things, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to, I can never figure out winning lottery numbers. I've tried my best, though. But anyway, the Gems and Diamonds do manage to then finally get Steven to revert back to normal by basically showing that they care enough for him that they're willing to help him with whatever he needs, because they relied on him for so long that he doesn't feel like he doesn't have anybody to turn to, because every time they had a problem, they turned to Steven. When Ruby and Sapphire were split, yeah, I almost screwed that one up. When Ruby and Sapphire were split and they wanted to become Garnet again, Steven was the one that helped them. When Pearl was having issues with what she and Pink Diamond had done and what her and Rose Quartz had done, Steven was the one to help her. When Amethyst had her issues of belonging and everything else, Steven was the one that managed to break her shell. He helped Lapis, which is one of my favorite characters in this show, is Lapis, because she's got the tragic backstory, and you just really just want to give her a hug. You really do. But he helped her. He helped and would not give up on Peridot. He helped Bismuth. He helped Lion, all the people of Beach City, and it was just this massive thing. And it just went on like this, and I'm like, this is really good. And they were all, like kind of hugging this monster Steven, like, we're here for you if you need us. Yellow Diamond, Blue Diamond were hugging it. White Diamond just kind of like held its arm, like, yeah, I'm not comfortable hugging, but I'll give you my support. They didn't get rid of that. Spinel even came up and hugged, and Spinel can just kiss my freaking ass. She really can. But they had like this whole emotional moment that I really didn't cry over, because, it was touching, yeah, but you kind of saw it coming a mile and a half away. They were not going to beat the crap out of Steven. Come on, they were never going to do that. They worship the damn guy. He's like their freaking god at this point. And Connie was the one that finally broke what was left of him. He was already he was pretty much like 95% there, and she just like walked up to him, hugged the monster part of him, and it's like, I know I don't have healing tears, and then just kind of like kissed his forehead, and boom, that was the end of it. He just returned back to normal. And the final episode then is him leaving Beach City. It goes from this tremendous heart, turning moment of Steven's like becoming this monster. He doesn't know how to control his powers. He's terrified that he's going to hurt people, that he can't do anything right, that they're going to see him as some type of destruction monger because he's letting his emotions take control of him, to I'm leaving Beach City. And that's what turns me off on this, is that exact fact. It turns me off on this. Besides the fact that it just feels like it was shoved down our throats, at least shoved down mine, it almost feels like. But I just didn't like it. I didn't appreciate the feel it had, the texture that it had, or anything else. It just, right out of the gate, I didn't like it. I thought when I saw it, I was like, no. So what happens in that episode, which is the final one, episode 20, Steven's basically gearing up to leave Beach City. He's got his route mapped out. He's going to be meeting up with Connie, Lars, and some other people outside of Beach City, and it's like, okay. And all of a sudden, he told everybody that he was leaving except for the gems. He didn't know how to break it to them. So then he broke it to Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl, and said, by giving them homemade cookie cats, which, if you would have remembered the first episode, or at least the one that we saw, not the pilot, but the actual first episode, that's what the whole thing was about, was the cookie cat. And it was homemade, so it was a nice little homage to that, with Pearl and Amethyst and Garnet doing the cookie cat jingle. Then Steven goes and tells them, well, I'm leaving Beach City, I'm leaving, I think he's saying like today, or he's going to be leaving. And all of a sudden, they're just oblivious to it. They're like, no, okay, that's fine. And it's like, he was shocked that they're not taking this seriously. He goes and tells Lapis, Peridot, and Bismuth, and they do the reaction that you would have expected the Crystal Gems to do, that you expected the A-Team to have done. And they're like, no, why are you leaving? What did we do? Is it something that we did? Tell us what we did and we'll fix it. We'll make this right. You can't, you just can't leave. Tell us what we did wrong and we'll fix it. Oh, please, Steven, you can't. That's the reaction I think he was expecting to get from, Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl, and they didn't give it. Now, I felt the same way. But he gave some stuff to Peridot, Bismuth, and Lapis. He gave Peridot one of his old shirts. He gave Bismuth the Crystal Gem flag. And he gave Lapis a massive art kit so she can paint and everything else. And she was getting really teary. Peridot was getting teary. Bismuth was getting teary. They're going to miss him. He gave his dad his room in the temple. He goes, you can stay here in his bed in the beach house there. He goes, that's really roomy. He goes, lay down here on the bed. And all of a sudden, he lays back on the bed and goes, I don't think I can get up. He goes, yeah, I told you it was going to be comfy. And it's just that. But when he's leaving, he's packed up, he's driving away in the car, and then all of a sudden he backtracks because the gems just were not upset that he was leaving. Then finally he backs up and boom, they finally acknowledge, yeah, we couldn't take it anymore. They were doing that to not make him feel bad, and it was making him feel worse. And then they cried it out, they hugged, and that was the end of it. Oh, and him and Connie did finally kiss. So there you go. We all finally have that now. And it was an actual kiss, half a second to a second worth, but still. And the final bits of the show, he's literally driving out of Beach City, and that's the end of the series. And I'm just shaking my head like, what in the hell? That's what we got. That was how it ends. He's leaving. Everybody in town's waving goodbye. There's a whole bunch of people down by the donut shop with a goodbye Steven banner, and he's heading out of town. And that's literally the end of it. He leaves town, leaves Beach City, and he's driving off at the end of it, and that's it. And I'm just watching this, and I'm like, you're kidding. Right? You're kidding me. This is serious. This is seriously how it ends. Yep, that's exactly how it ends. Just like that. That's how it ends. And I was like, no. I'm not happy about it. I was a little pissed about it. I'm still mad about it. It's not a good ending. It felt forced. We want this to end. We want this to end now. You're not dragging this out. It's ending now. And the jump from 19 to 20 just doesn't feel natural. All of a sudden, they just managed to get Steven to reconcile with himself with the fact that they will love him no matter what he does. They'll help him through his problems, whatever they are, because they're here for him. To, I'm leaving Beach City, goodbye. screw that. That's where I draw the line at. That's how you half-ass a show that was your mainstay and the last decent show you had on your network. That's how you piss off fans to never want to come back. And I didn't appreciate it. But that was my thoughts on it. I didn't like it at all. It was a good final 4 episodes, at least final 3 episodes. The final episode sucked. So, yeah. But it wasn't good, though. Alright, so let's talk about the elephant in the room here that just will not go out my front door. The coronavirus causing more delays and cancellations. Hey, remember the Olympic Games that I talked about, I think it was 2 weeks ago? That they were trying to figure out if they were going to have them or not. They said that they would decide that they had to May to decide. Well, they've now made the decision, and they've made it early. Their decision is, we're not having them this year. They have been delayed until 2021, but they will still be called the 2020 Games, from what I had heard. The thing was that they had no choice but to postpone it. Now, it's likely going to be 2021. The International Olympic Committee will decide the details within the next 4 weeks for what's going to happen. But they had no choice in the matter for this. I mean, with everything that's going on, so much going crazy right now, even if they managed to get it, you would not have the travel restrictions, probably wouldn't get lifted right away. It would be mostly like that Olympic Games back in the 80s where a lot of teams were boycotting. And, yeah, I don't see that ending well. I really don't. But to say the least, that is the current thing now. But yeah, the cancellation is not an agenda. According to the committee, was instead considering postponement from a few months to a year or a scaled-down version of the games. So basically, they're postponed till 2021, but they're going to decide it later on. But either way, they're not happening this year. The funny part is that I actually said this, and I can pull up the part in the podcast when I did, when it's just delay it a year. That would have been the most unique idea to do, just delay it a year. And, because it's happened before. If you actually pull up the history of the Olympic Games, which I could probably do, hold on. There was one that didn't happen because there was a war on at the time. So, yeah, but I see. Yeah. Olympic Games. I know I spelled it wrong, but yeah, so they're they're gonna pretty much be delaying it. Let's see, S-T-O, not P-O-R-E-R. It's fun typing on a keyboard that you really have to look at it with the glare from your screen. That's always fun. Let's see here. Olympic Games. Okay. Because I know that there was an Olympic Games in one year that was delayed or didn't happen. So this isn't a first. Probably will never be the last either. Changes, adaptations, ceremonies, sports, controversies, boycotts. Let's see here. They should have a timeline here. I remember there was one, should be here somewhere. I thought there was one. Let's see here, is a summer one? Well, I remember that there was one. You just have to really dig into it, but I remember reading about it in one of those almanac books about it. So yeah, it did happen. There was an event, and I think it was pretty sure it was the war or a war at the time that prevented the Olympics from happening, so they had to cancel it for that year. So it does happen. So it's not exactly a humongous thing to have. I mean, okay, it is humongous to have it happen, but it's not the first time, and I doubt it will ever be the last. You can't, like, run something like this and not expect something to happen. A single tooth out of alignment on a cog will cause a problem in the machine. So there is that. But what brings this interesting, and a tie-in topic for this, and I think I did say what the tie-in was on here, I don't remember. But an interesting thing with this, now, if you remember correctly, now, they were scheduled to be held from July 24th to August 9th. Okay, followed by the Summer Paralympics from August 25th to September 6th. Now, if you remember, there was an event, a convention that was going to be happening over in Japan, happens every year, and it was going to be held in July, but it was, moved up to not interfere with the Olympic Games. That would be Comic Market 98. And unfortunately, that is canceled for the year. That one is done. So here's the deal with this one. It's kind of like a nice little tie-in topic here. We got the Olympic Games are canceled or at least postponed for 2020 till 2021. They'll still be called the 2020 Olympics, so from what I'd heard. But on top of that, Comic Market 98 is done. It's canceled. It's over. So here's what happened. COVID-19, they do not even want to try to have this. This is to basically help prevent the spread of this thing. They are not having this year. It is done. The catalog, which was, and I looked it up this morning, the catalog was already, you had to have the money in like March 19th. They were already printing it and binding it, so those will still be going out. That's the thing. It basically said the catalog will still go on sale on April 11th, and the committee asked people to purchase the catalog to support the event in the future. However, the wristbands used as entry passes for the event are no longer going to go on sale on the same day. The DVD-ROM edition of the catalog will not be going on sale. They are conforming to the, they cannot confirm if the Tokyo Big Sight venue will be available in December or in July and August of 2021 either, since the Tokyo Olympics has been postponed, from this summer. So plans for Comic Market 99, which would have been winter 2020, they're going to announce that separately, whether or not they'll be able to have that. So that one might even now be up in the air yet. We're literally, and I was making this comment earlier this week because we were watching a lot of news things. We usually watch that after like about 5:30. I'll put the Pluto channel on, I'll put the news on to get the daily update of what's going on. And I've said this, and I really hate to say this. Now, there is an old saying, and I did put this up online. It's not over till the fat lady sings. And that's an old line from operas and stuff like that, because once the fat lady came out to start singing, that was the end of the opera. You knew that was the end of it. And with this, she's not even coming out yet. We're only in the second act of this. And I really hate to say it that way, but we are literally only in the second act of this. I am getting this odd feeling that all hell has yet to break loose. And what we have had so far is just the tip of the iceberg. I can't put my finger on why. I just get this weird feeling about it. And basically, if you're going to look at this like an opera, we're in Act 2 at best. And there's at least 3 or 4 acts per opera. I was asking my mom about that earlier. But there's like at least 3 or 4 acts. At worst case scenario, we have one more act to go to. At worst it'd be 2. At best, it's 1. But we're only in what I would consider Act 2. Act 3 has yet to start. And if it's going to end at Act 3, then the fat lady will sing. Then it's over. It isn't done till it's done. But basically, the committee announced last week that it might postpone or cancel the event altogether. It was scheduled to take place from May 2nd to May 5th. At the Tokyo Big Sight, because it was going to be interfering with the 2020 Summer Olympics, and they wanted to put more attention to that than they did for anything else. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen now. So they're screwed either way. And this thing draws a lot of crowds. So it's just an understanding thing. I mean, we're canceling stuff over here left and right. The fire company I live near, I live across the street from, they canceled their weekly bingo game. They canceled a couple classes that they have over here. So, yeah, it's getting pretty bad, folks. And it's, like I said, it's only going to get worse. I'm honestly getting this feeling that it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse before it gets better. We're only, like I said, in like what I would consider Act 2. That's not a good sign. But some of the creators, or some manga creators, stated on their Twitter accounts that, there's one, stated that she will forego attending the event due to her own concerns about COVID-19. Tokyo has confirmed 47 new cases of it on Thursday, the fourth straight day of record increases, and that's as of this recording, by the way. Tokyo governor called for Tokyo residents on Wednesday night to stay at home and enjoined residents to work from home and to not go out at night or on the weekend. Tokyo has been issuing policies against large events and gatherings since February. Large crowds went to parks and citywide, and the park citywide this past holiday weekend for the traditional cherry blossom viewing. And this is just not ending well here. And I'm going to safely say this, and like I said, I only feel like we're just getting into Act 2 here. This is not done yet. This is nowhere near finished. There's something I was going to say, and I trying to... Oh, yeah. But there is some goodness that's coming out of this. I'm going to safely say that. Now, there's a lot of people that are going to be going, but I want to go back to my office job, or I want to go back to work. The kicker is, this has actually shown that there are a lot of people that can work from home. There are a lot of things you can work on from home and still make money. You can do services now, like you can go to Best Buy and you basically, you order your thing online, they will bring it out to you. You don't leave your car, you don't go into the store. Technically, that's not a bad thing if you know what you're getting. They're still making money and you're still getting the item. And basically, that's what we're getting to at this point anyway with online shopping. I know that eBay's been getting a bit of a boom. Amazon's been getting a bit of a boom. Because Amazon recently put a thing out, they want to hire more workers. Walmart, I think, wanted to get a few more. I know my local grocery store is still looking for employees. And in all honesty, if this goes on longer than what I think it is, and I won't be able to go back to my actual job, I might take that offer up. Just to get a little extra money, because I'm going to have people bitching, I know it. But still, it is what it is, basically. But this has proven that you can do stuff from home. You can teach from home, you can work from home, you can get food from home, you can order stuff from home, and it can all be brought to your home. You don't have to technically leave. And yes, you can go out for walks and stuff like that, but you don't have to drive and kill yourself in traffic and everything else. There are some good things that are being brought out by this, but nobody's looking at that. They're looking at well, this sucks, it's horrible. And I really hated to say it this way, but I was explaining it to my mom. I said, this is showing the real ugly side, at least of the U.S., that, we're basically spoiled brats, in a way. Because it's like, I want to go back to work. I got to get back to my job now. Where it's like, look, you can still do your job from home. That's the point I'm trying to make, is that you can actually do fun stuff from home yet. You can still work from home. You spend more time with your family. You're there watching them. You're seeing moments that you would have never seen before. And you're still getting paid. That's the whole thing. With the advent of the internet, you have to realize that there's a lot of stuff that can be done. Figure out a solution for the actual problems of the online congestion, and you will have a system in place that will work. But yeah, I mean, that's about the only good thing that I see coming out of this. But like I said, I only feel like we're just getting into Act 2. Like literally, Act 2 has just literally begun. And we still have at least a whole nother act to go through yet before that fat lady's going to sing at the end of this opera. It is not done yet. It is nowhere near done yet. I'm just getting this odd feeling that we have yet to see the end of this. What we've seen so far, I fear, is just the tip of the iceberg. I just don't know why I'm getting this odd premonition about it. I just honestly feel like this is the tip of the iceberg, and what we have yet to see is going to be worse than what we've gotten. And that scares the living crap out of me. It really does. But, you never know. Okay, so let's talk about this. GameStop. I love this story. This has got to be the best story that has come out of this entire coronavirus event. So, here's what's been going on. When a lot of places were told, businesses that were non-essential were told they have to shut down. Oh, wow. So many people were going, okay, that's fine, but GameStop just did not want to take this. And they have been, they're that primordial example, the proverbial example of something that is dead but refuses to fall the fuck over. And oh boy, do they ever. So they sent out a memo to their employees. Do not close the stores. You will not shut down the stores. We will remain open. We are an essential business. They don't qualify. And they threw a fit about this. They told employees that you will ignore law enforcement and everything else. And there was articles written about this. I think I didn't talk about that last week. I wanted to, but I didn't because I decided against it. But this week, oh no. This week we're talking about GameStop. So, after having no choice but to shut down all the stores across the U.S., they have figured out a way to keep themselves in business. Now, this is the part that annoys me. So, here's what they're doing. Instead of just telling their employees, look, we don't want you in here. I mean, first off, they're hemorrhaging money. They have got to be hemorrhaging money at this point. Just lay down and just go quietly into that good night at this point. I mean, they're banking on the fact that they have to stay in business till the new game systems come out. And what are they going to do once both of those come out and then the sales start to decline? They're going to hope and pray for a miracle. Well, I hate to tell them this, but nature's tired of helping them. So, GameStop has ordered their employees at this point to keep themselves in business. The employees are to wrap their hands, okay, in plastic bags while they're working. Customers are not allowed in the store. Business, however, can still be done. A GameStop employee, they're instructed, this is the best word, to not let employees, while GameStop employees are instructed to not let, it should be customers inside, but it says employees inside, they are doing curbside pickup, which does lead to interaction between employees and customers. And these interactions come with some pretty strange instructions from corporate headquarters. You know, because they just don't realize the concept of 6 fucking feet. So, this is the part that I love. Are you ready for this one? Ready? You're going to love this. This is the best part. So, according to one source that they spoke to at comicbook.com, when making an exchange with the customer, employees are only supposed to open the door enough for their arm to reach out. While doing this, employees are instructed to make sure the door separates the customer's face from their own face. Meanwhile, when reaching out an arm for an exchange, employees are supposed to always have their hands covered. Usually this means adorning a pair of gloves. However, GameStop has instructed employees to use plastic bags if there are no gloves available. Basically, do the homemade pooper scooper. It's like, oh look, Fido left a steaming hot biscuit on the neighbor's lawn. Oh crap, I don't have a glove to pick it up in. Well, I'm going to have to use this small sandwich bag. Glad I was eating a sandwich on my walk with you, Fido. Turn it inside out, and in the trash can it's going to go. No, seriously, that's literally That is literally what they're telling them to do at this point. From here, employees will bring the card back to the register, run it with the hand still in the bag. After this, they're supposed to flip the bag inside out and put the purchase in the bag with the card. Once this is done, they can head back to the customer waiting outside. Here's an idea. First off, this is how we're coming to this point here. My local post office, this is fun. I went down there, they had their signs like 6 feet away, and then now it's Thursday. I go Friday. No, that was Wednesday. I go back Friday. Friday, they have a sign. Please stay 3 feet back at all times. You must keep 3 feet between you and, because I guess the cashier, there's a decent amount of space. But they have instructions for how you will handle this postal exchange now. So what you do at the post office, at least mine, you go there, you put your stuff on the counter, you back away. They will take your item. They will pull it up, they will weigh it, and when you have to answer the questions, or anything liquid, fragile, hazardous, potentially dangerous, lithium-ion batteries, perfume, stuff like that, they will back away for you to come up and answer the question. Then you have to back away, and they will come back up to the register, and they will type in the information. They will get everything fixed up for you. Then they will back away, and you come forward to pay. If you're paying in cash, you put the cash on the counter. Then you back away again, and then they will come forward. They will take the money, and they will put your change on the counter. Then they will back away. You take your change and your receipt, and you walk out the door. That's how that dance is done. If you're paying with a card, same process, only you come up, pay with the card, they back away, you back away. That's how it's coming to. It's soon getting to the point where we're going to have plexiglass enclosing cashiers. And while I get the whole, safety and everything else, GameStop should have just shut their doors with this and just took it as the final nail in their coffin. Like, look, we are not destined to stay around anymore, okay? Our, what was it, their concept store idea was a flop. Them trying to turn themselves into the next hot topic is not going to work. Them forcing their employees, you're going to bring your ass in here. Now, granted, a lot of people are unemployed right now, and yeah, that is a good thing to have. But they're basically telling their employees, you're going to come to work, and this is how we're going to do this dance. You're going to put your hand in a baggie. You're going to take the person's card. You're going to back away inside the store. You're going to probably lock the door, too, behind you while they're standing outside. Now, what do you do if this is a store that's out in the open, and all of a sudden it's like pouring down rain? That poor SOB is standing out in the rain because they were stupid enough to go and want to buy a game from GameStop, who is now tilly-tallying along to get them out of here as quickly as they can, while that poor person is getting rained on outside. Brilliant, GameStop. Brilliant. Beautiful move. Brilliant. Beautiful. Oh, my God. Stupidest thing ever. This is the best part, though, okay? Here's the best part of this. So, there's more in this article. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, meanwhile with this, corporate is also still telling the employees that if local law enforcement comes around telling them that they gotta shut this bitch down, they are to hand them a note that says this operation falls under essential business. However, if this does happen, managers are also instructed to go ahead and shut up shop and notify their district manager. So, you're basically rolling the dice on your employees possibly getting arrested for violating an act that has been put into place, which, first off, that terrifies the crap out of me, because there are a lot of places like malls and that are closed, and you're telling your employees, no, you will go in there, you will operate this store, and if the law comes around to shut you down, you tell them to kiss off. That doesn't work. You don't tell an officer of the law to shove it. That don't end well for you. It don't matter if you say it politely. It don't matter if you were aggressive about it. Either way, it doesn't end well for you, okay? Whenever I talk to some officers of the law in my days, and I get nervous every single time. I tense up. I stand straight at attention. There was one that knocked on the front door once, looking for an address, and I literally just gotten back inside after walking out to the mailbox to check the mail in my socks. And the cop comes knocking on the front door, and I'm like, oh my God, I just violated a law that I'm not supposed to walk outside in socks. Oh my God, they're going to take me to jail. And I stand at the door, I said, yes, and they just wanted to know they just wanted an address that was literally across the street. I'm like, oh, that's right over there. Okay, thank you very much. Then there was the fire company. Then as I'm walking over to the fire company to help them out that night with their fundraiser, the officer goes, oh yeah, by the way, I need your name. Andrew Rhodes. And I gave my address, and I was just like, I was standing straight up at attention, like, oh my God, yeah, my name's Andrew, this is my address. Like, I got stiff as a board. My uncle was laughing like crazy the rest of the night about it. But it's like, you don't tell law enforcement that, you don't tell them, no, we are an essential business. But yet, if they're told to shut down, they have to close. Dude, the cops are going around and shutting stuff down that doesn't have to be. But this is the best part, though. At this moment, it is unclear how long GameStop will remain closed. But it will presumably be until the virus is brought under control in America, which seems like it won't be happening anytime soon. Yeah, that, like I said, Act 2 of a 3-act opera. But I just... it's just hilarious. But more GameStop news. They're also closing over 300 more stores to try to save themselves some more money, as part of a plan to de-densify. Meanwhile, the retailer also recently commented on the release of the PS5 and Xbox Series, and whether the pair of next-gen consoles will be delayed due to the coronavirus-related complications. Which they are. I can see GameStop going, well, that's it, we're screwed, good night, folks, and just finally roll over, because they just don't want to roll over. But I just love that. So this is the song and dance that GameStop wants to do. It's like, at that point, they should have just put a box outside, or put a thing, like a, well, they can technically damage their building, but I think they probably could have found a way to do this, like the letter, like the mailbox or something, like person knocks on door, slides card in, with this is what they want. They back away, put stuff in the envelope, crack the door open, stand outside, close the door, lock the door back up, and then wait for the next person. And just do that. I have one person at the door, one person at the register. Streamline this whole thing. But the fact that they're then telling the store employees, if the law comes around, you tell them we're an essential business. We have to stay open. It don't work like that. It will never work like that. You do not tell the law where to stick it. That does not end well for you or anyone else. But, oh, man. I can safely say if I need a good laugh, I'll just see what GameStop's doing lately. That seems to be the new laugh here. Hey, you need a good laugh? Let's go see what GameStop's doing in the news. That seems to be the new thing here. I mean, yeah, sure. Like I said, it's getting to the point that I'm kind of thinking that it's going to happen at my local post office, that there's going to be plexiglass put up. I'm going to go in one day, and there's literally going to be plexiglass separating the counter person from the customer. And if you have a big item, you're going to have to, there's going to be like a slot. You're going to have to slide it in. It's going to put it onto a section. You have to close the section. That's what I think we're going to get to at some point to prevent this in the future. But honestly, at this point, I just got a kick out of this with GameStop. They just do not know when to quit. They just don't know when to quit, damn it. Alright, so let's get into the bit of sad news, though, from this week. So, Voice actor William, it's Dufris. So I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but Dufris or whatever. He sadly passed away due to cancer. Now, here's the thing. Now, a lot of people are gonna go that listen to this podcast. Oh, okay, he must have done an anime voice. That's why Andrew's talking about him. Well, yeah, he did a couple. He did some characters, Lupin the Third, Bye Bye, Lady Liberty, and Mystery of Mamo Dubs. Let's see here. He voiced the character Lupin the Third in the manga UK dubs of Lupin the Third, Bye Bye, Lady Liberty, and Lupin the Third, Mystery of Mamo. He also voiced Subaru Kimaragi in the English dub of the X anime film. He voiced numerous other roles for English dubs for such anime as Angel Cop, Pat Labor, Appleseed, New Dominion, Tank Police, and Venus Wars. He was the co-founder of Pocket Universe Productions. But the thing is, what took me by surprise and what threw me, he was the voice of Bob the Builder. Yes, Bob the Builder, the titular character from the children's animated series Bob the Builder for the North American dub of the first 9 seasons. And he sadly passed away. This is sad, okay? Because I liked Bob the Builder, and I liked the original. And he was, I wanted clarification on this on Twitter, if he was the original Bob the Builder, and he was. And I liked the original one that we had. That was a really good Bob the Builder. That was one that, the kids weren't too, it wasn't too out there for them. It wasn't bad. It was really good. But he passed away. And he was 62. He was 62 when he died. And yes, he did technically die from cancer. So there is that. No, it was not because he wasn't getting treatment. I think it was I'm pretty sure it was his niece, because she had said Uncle Bob, or said Uncle Bob. I'm thinking it was niece, nephew, but relation of his, basically, was saying about how he did not want to do treatment for it because it was shortening his life. And, I mean, you look at the man in the picture in the article here, he looks like he's in his freaking late 50s. He doesn't look like he's 62. He looks like he's in his late 50s in this picture. And I'm like, holy shit. And I'm like, this is Bob the Builder. And when I heard that, I was like, that hurt. When I found that out, I was like, oh my God, that really hit me. Because I watched this show. I watched the original one, and it was good. When did this originally air? That's what I'm trying. This is one that got redone a couple times, and that's what pisses me off. And he did it for the first 9 seasons. They have 98 to 07. They have 98, and then to 09. I think 09 is when it ended. Checking here. Wow, it doesn't even really. I love this. Come on, where is it on here? Impact. Okay, come on. Okay. Alright, here we go. Okay, so it came out in 2001. So, alright, I was right. It was on Nick Jr. first. Okay. Whew. Okay. I wasn't crazy. So yeah, this sucks. Because he was the original Bob the Builder here in the U.S. And he was a good voice of Bob. He really was. Because what's interesting about him, like I said, he basically had this voice that he didn't sound like he was coming off as this is too much for the kids. He felt like this was the type of voice that, look, I'm not, he's not yelling if one of the tools screws up. He doesn't get pissed off. He doesn't get angry. He was that nice sort of voice character that, if you would upset him, he wouldn't fly off the handle at you. He would just calmly tell you, look, this is why you don't do that, and not yell. And that was a really cool way that he talked. And it really does suck, actually, because, he's gone. That's what sucks. But originally premiered on Nick Jr. 2001 to 2004. I did tape this. So I would have been in middle school. So I was right. My mom said elementary. I knew it was middle school. I remember taping this. I remember coming home and watching it after I taped it. And yeah, okay, I was like 6th grade, 7th grade-ish when it came out. It was like 2001. I'd have to figure out the exact starting point. To say what the starting point was. No. No, I don't think it does. Then there was a 2005 series, 2015 reboot that really. Ugh. Oh yeah, and a 2005 one too. Yeah. No, it was 2015. Okay, never mind. 2015. But yeah, so there was like a lot of them on here, voice actors and everything else. Broadcasts, 39 countries. Okay, so the North American version of the show uses the original British footage and script, but dubs the voices in American accents and slang. For example, the word soccer is used instead of football to avoid confusion with the gridiron forms of the game. The original North American voice of Bob and Farmer Pickles, Mr. Beasley, and Mr. Sabani was William Dufris. However, he was replaced with comedian Greg Proops. Most recently, Bob's U.S. voice has been provided by Mark Silk, an English voice actor from Birmingham. But yeah, this is when they replaced it, because you could tell. I could tell instantly when they replaced the voice, because I was like, no, because you could tell a difference. And it was an instant difference in the voice, and I was like, no, I don't like it. I didn't like it. That's where I dropped off then, because then it moved to PBS, and I was like, nope, forget it, screw this, the hell with it, we're done. I'm done with this. And then they made the newer one. It's like, nope, forget it. You've lost me now. But when did I just figure out the exact start date here? Trying to figure out the exact start date here. Because it's nice that it goes 2001, but, okay, no, here we go. Okay. So November 1998 to September 28, 2004. So, okay, that really doesn't help me. Damn it. Let's see here. That really doesn't help me here. Really, it doesn't. I mean, Nick Jr. had it from 2001. Gotta love this. Gee, gotta love when you have to go to the reference section just to get an answer to when did it start? Oh, we're going to the Wayback Machine. Oh, goody. Gotta love the Wayback Machine. Oh yeah, okay, Bob. Okay, it was a thing from Nick Jr.'s site from the Wayback Machine. Oh, that's good. That doesn't help me at all. Man, I mean, all right. But either way, I was in like elementary, middle school, like late. If anything, it would have been 2001. We've been talking second half of 6th grade to 7th grade, so that's the starting point. And I'm thinking it premiered during the summer, so I'm going with second half, like in the summer. So I'll do that. But either way, this is sad. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the voice was really good. He did a really good voice, and you could tell, because like I said, and this one shook me because I'm like, this one really hit. Because I liked Bob the Builder. I liked the original Bob the Builder, the very first ones that came out here in the States. I liked that dub of it. And then they just ruined the dub of it, and the show went downhill for me. But that really sucks, though. But this is sad that he's gone, that he's passed away. So, as always here, if we may, because this really is sad. I'd actually like to do this a little longer. Let's have a nice moment of silence here for Bob the Builder, if we may, here for William Dufris, or Dufris, or I really am apologizing. I can't pronounce your last name. I really do apologize. But if we may, please have a moment of silence. Well, can you fix it? Yes, you did. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, William, for everything that you brought to the world. All right, so here's something interesting, and you have until April 30th to check it out. So, the Anime Tamago Project's website began streaming all 3 anime in their Anime Tamago 2020 slate on Friday. The 3 anime are streaming in one video as part of an overall 2-hour video that also includes roundtable talks with guests and other things. The 3 anime start at 18 minutes, 1 hour 5 minutes, and 1 hour 1 hour and 5 seconds, and 1 hour 44 minutes 45 seconds. And there is a link in the article. You can actually pull it up. The video will be available until April 30th. So you can watch it for free, which is cool. The 3 anime were planned to screen for the public on March 14th, but that event was sadly canceled due to concerns of the COVID-19 illness. But this is actually pretty cool. So you can watch these until the 30th, so you can still watch them anyway. But here is, believe it or not, the list of anime that are on here. These are the 3 that are in this, which is, I really think, pretty interesting. So you get to watch this either way. And now more people from the public can watch it, because you can probably pull it up online. Which means more people can pull it up. So the first one's titled, and I know I'm going to mess this up, so I have to apologize. Ometeo, it's OMETEOTL equals and a slash through the equals hero. The studio is Speed. Director / CG director is Jun Owaza from Nigadon, The Monster from Mars, and Panzer. The cast, I'm not going to go through the cast. I'm going to butcher names left and right, but there's a lot of people in the cast. You can pull it up in the article. But basically, we got a character in here called Yuki, Riri, Haruko, Haru, Kana, an announcer, Baby Yuka, a mother, and a beast villain. Okay, that's pretty cool. Here's the summary, though, for it. In the year 22XX, I love when they do that, by the way, because you never can tell what the last 2 digits are going to be. Due to the drastic decrease in the human population, that's ironic, the government starts accepting races from other allied planets. As a result of genetic mixing, new species are born with special powers. A young man named Yuki learns on his 18th birthday that while his father is a member of the Hero tribe, his mother is a member of a tribe of beings who can manipulate plants who were supposedly wiped out due to the accelerated mechanization of the planet. As a result, Yuki holds powers of both tribes, but he questions which side he should help with his powers. That sounds pretty interesting, actually. That's sort of like your quintessential good versus evil superhero type deal. I love that. That sounds pretty cool. The next one is the Chronicles of Rebecca. Studio is Vega Entertainment. Director is Yukio Teramato. Mysterious Joker, all 4 seasons of it. Not going to go into the cast, but we have Rebecca, Miranda, Jane, Cobb, Emma Jane, Dearborn, and a narrator. Summary. Rebecca is a 10-year-old cheerful and energetic girl who is the second of 7 children. She lives in a rural town in Maine in the United States at the end of the 19th century. After her father dies, her family descends into poverty, and Rebecca unwillingly goes to live with her aunts, Miranda and Jane. Rebecca loves her kind Aunt Jane dearly, but her Aunt Miranda is naggy and strict. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go with no. That'd be a pass. No, I'm sorry. If I actually had to figure out if I was going to be green-lighting these, that'd be a pass. The last and final of the three is called Michiru Rescue from Yumita Company. Kojin Ochi from director Conan. La Corda di Oro, Primo Passo, and Samurai Warriors. Oh, it's already got some pretty powerful in there. I'm not going to go through the cast. I'm not going to go through the people voice. I'll name the characters. You got Michiru, Kasaki, Leon, Robbie, Barbarian, Yuri, Kasaki, Satsuki, Shadow Boy, a nurse, a housewife, a farmland. I'm not even kidding. That's exactly what it says. And a male breeder of Mijiro. Okay, I'm not getting into that either. So, what's the plot on this one? 4 glowing orbs of different color fly through space, chasing after a dark red orb. After a fierce battle, only the blue orb falls to Earth, in the room where Michiru is sleeping, but the dark red orb also appears on Earth. The orb changes shape into the form of a boy and starts to illegally raise Mijiro birds. Later, Michiru is at a flea market in a park when a large flock of Mijiro birds cover the sky and start attacking people. The yellow, silver, and purple orbs show up and almost manage to calm down the Mijiro. But violence is about to break out again. At that moment, Michiru hears a voice inside her head asking her to save the Mijiro. Huh? I'm sorry, out of the 3 of them, I think the first one's pretty decent. The other 2 I would pass on. I mean, we worked the plot on the one. It sounds a little convoluted, but otherwise, it might be better if you see it. I don't know. The anime shorts train young animators on the job as part of the Japanese government's Agency of Cultural Affairs Young Animator Training Project. The project was previously known as Anime Mara. Japanese Government Agency of Cultural Affairs launched its Young Animator Training Project in 2010 with the aim of fostering the growth of domestic animation studios and tackling the concern over more of the Japanese animation process is being outsourced overseas. The project has spawned such works as Little Witch Academia. Not touching that one. Death Billiards, which inspired the Death Paradise television anime, and Origaku Shojin, or Shoujo. Okay. Yeah. I got nothing else to add. So, out of those 3, I'm not even going to lie. Yeah, I'm just going to freaking go with the first one here. I mean, the second one, The Chronicles of Rebecca, just basically sounds like a really crappier version of Doraemon meets Hello Kitty with just a sprinkling of Hamtaro. Just from the plot alone, that's what it feels like. And Michiru Rescue, it almost sounds like it's Power Rangers or Sentai trying to mix itself too hard with Case Closed, and I'm just not buying it. But yeah, out of the first one, I could get behind the first one. I could get behind the hero one. I could definitely get behind that. That sounds pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean, as far as the other 2 are concerned, I mean, they're not my cup of tea. It doesn't mean they're not anybody else's, but yeah, I'm gonna take a strong pass on that though. If you don't mind, I'll take a pass on that. Alright, so we're up to the last topic of the night here. The Sing Yesterday for Me anime shares of the first 6 minutes, and I have got to say, it looks pretty interesting. I did check out the video. It does seem kind of interesting. So basically, here's what the basic is of it. Did they actually give like a plot in this? Okay, yeah, up here a little more. Alright, so the dramatic manga series Yesterday wo Utake, aka Sing Yesterday for Me, is set to premiere in Japan on April 4th. The series follows Riku Yuno. Okay, I'm screwed this. Okay. Uzumi, or Uzumi, I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that wrong, but anyway, who's having trouble finding work after graduating from university and ends up entangled in a love triangle between himself and the anime's two leading ladies, Haru and Shinako. That's pretty cool. So with a little over a week to go before the premiere, the official YouTube channel went ahead and offered up an early look at the first episode's opening 6 minutes, which actually weren't too bad. I mean, yeah, it's only 6 minutes. It's not really enough to divulge into, hey, is this going to be really good or not? But you don't know until you actually try. Truth of the matter, I mean, it could be good, it could be bad. I don't know. It seems interesting. I won't lie. But just for you, as always, I'll play up the video. Just mute my mute my speakers here so that they don't no copyright infringement. You can't copyright strike my black side. So basically, we have like the setting here. Looks really interesting too. Alarm going off. Our main character's getting up out of his bed. He's dressed, kicking up his kickstand on his bike, and riding off into the early morning. Birds all over the place. Got a convenience store. Oh yeah, this has got to be fun, huh? Oh, the animation looks real good though in this. I can't stress that enough. I mean, we're talking real good animation here. They've got crows outside the convenience store door eating leftovers. He just seems so depressed and miserable. Yeah, this is like everybody's like life. I mean, I'm not gonna go in like the whole 6 minutes here. This show's been getting on a little long this week, but yeah, I mean, you can watch this video. It's in the article here. It's actually not bad. He's feeding the birds. Well, at least I think, well, he was feeding some of them, and now all of a sudden there's somebody else feeding the other. Oh, that's cool. So the one character shows up. But yeah, this is interesting. I'm not going to lie. You only get like 6 minutes, so the video itself is like 9 minutes, 21 seconds. So you're speeding up. See if there's anything in here. Okay, try the first 9 minutes, jackasses. More... Or like or more like 8 minutes 50 some seconds, because it doesn't technically stop. Oh yeah, offered up 6 minutes, huh? 6 minutes my backside. That was the issue I had this morning. 6 minutes my backside. But yeah, either way, it's interesting. I won't lie about that. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's just basically another anime series. But it's one that has an interesting plot and a premise. I mean, there's a lot of anime out there that have inspired a lot of people. Sea Control, Bakuman, Eyes, just to name the three off the top of my head. So having one like this could actually be quite good. You don't know until you try. You don't know what it's going to be like. But, hey, 6 minutes, though, is not enough to go off of to get a real decent thing. But I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. The whole series might have some ups and downs, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. Then again, anything new right now is interesting because I'm running out of anime to watch, basically. Yeah, anything that can take me to a nice little fictional universe, I'm more than happy to play in for a while, basically. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Check it out. The link's in the description. It looks kind of cool. Really does. Alrighty, everybody. That's going to pretty much do it then this week for the Absolutely Completely Random podcast. I'm through all the topics. I'm getting a little tired. I'm going to call it a night. I'd like to thank you all for hanging out with me for the last, this is probably, almost an hour and a half this week. I apologize for the length. But yeah, I appreciate you all hanging out with me. Appreciate everybody hanging out with me for this hour and a half. It's been a lot of fun. Hopefully be more fun. Don't forget, next Q&A video is coming out for April. Please have your questions for it in by, drumroll please, Ding! I'm shooting for the 25th of April at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, please have your questions in by that point, April 25th, 12 a.m. EST. And until next time, I'm Andrew Rhodes. I'm checking out. I'm bowing out. I'm going to go to sleep. Have a nice night, everybody. Have a nice week. Stay safe out there. Stay healthy. And until next time, I'm Andrew Rhodes, and this has been the Absolutely, Completely Random Podcast. Bye, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you all next time.